everyone. My name is Sarah Batishi, and I'm here with my mother, Diana. Say hello, Mother.
Hello, but you used her last name. I don't want her
Well,
last
Mom,
name.
they're going to see me on social media.
I'm trying to be private, and my daughter has already started giving out information. Somebody's going to rip off me on the internet. I just know it.
The mafia.
Yeah,
Mom
the mafia.
The mafia or the gangs. The gangs are everywhere.
The gangs are the mafia. Somebody is going to take that information and rip us off. But okay, we're going to go back to what we were going to talk about.
Well, if you can figure out how to spell it and find us, then props to you. Good luck.
To you.
You deserve it.
You deserve it. Okay, back to what we're going to talk about. Our podcast is called Life is Funny That Way. And we're going to talk about our family and life and things like that. And it's going to be uncut and unedited.
Yes, this is the unedited version, mostly, actually, completely all because we do not know how to edit.
Yes.
So that's where we're at.
If somebody wants to jump in and come over to our house, make a certain time and edit, we'll work with you. And free, no money. We don't have the money.
We don't have any money, which is another reason we're doing the podcast is because we cannot afford the level of therapy that we need.
That's right. So we're just going to talk to you, America, to get the therapy that we need.
Why are you saying America?
Because is this going to Russia? No, this is going to America.
Mom, we're putting it on Spotify and Apple and all the places.
What
Anyone
is
can hear
Spotify?
this.
I don't even know what Spotify or Apple is.
I know you don't know what Apple is.
I call you during the day about how to work Facebook and how to work my phone. So do you think I know what Spotify is?
No, I know you don't. I'm just saying, America, anyone can listen.
Okay. Anybody
who decides
clarify,
to listen.
We have no prejudice. Anybody who decides to tune in, is that the word?
Yes.
Tune in, can do it with us. I mean, can come in here and listen to it. Free for everyone.
Free. We're putting this on the free platforms so that you may listen at your heart's desire.
Yes.
And the concept of our podcast is really just to tell you about our family. I've been alive for about 35 years now.
Yes.
And my mother has had a family of her own for 36, I guess 35 technically.
35.
As I'm the oldest.
I've been married 35. And it is not of my own. It's like, I am married and you are in it.
Right.
I know that may be hard for you to accept, but you are in it. Part of this family. We're going to tell you about this family in a few minutes, but there's a lot to say, a lot of material there.
A lot to unpack. We have a lot of baggage to unpack.
Yes. Baggage is a good word. I like that better than your first suggestions. Dysfunctional.
Oh, dysfunctional family? Yes, Mom doesn't want to use the word dysfunctional family because all she can think about is the Kardashians.
Yeah. So I don't want the word. It's not that I don't like them. They're fine. But I don't want to use that word dysfunctional because there's so many dysfunctional. I'm like, okay, I just need to describe us different than that.
Good luck finding a word. Okay,
that makes me feel better.
Right, you're an artist. You need to be creative. I get it.
Yes.
You need a more creative way
and it makes,
to describe the psychopaths in our family. Fine.
Yeah, and it makes me feel better as a mother when saying a different word for my children rather than dysfunctional. I'm like giving myself a little pat on the back. It's not dysfunctional.
I'm just going to put it out there that once we go through the different personalities and experiences of the people in this family, that is the exact word that the audience is going to think is these people have some serious problems.
So they're going to come up with it on their own, you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They're going to figure it out on their own. We didn't really pick a topic for this first episode. It's more of just an introductory episode just to get you guys used to our banter and also just introduce you to everyone. I don't know if that's where we want to start. I don't know if we want to introduce the members.
We don't know where we want to start. We're going to do that.
I guess we are using fake names for some of them, even though
I wanted to use a fake name, but Sarah went ahead and said it, and I don't know how to edit it out. So we're just going to go with Diana.
Mom, all of your friends. Our friends are probably the only ones who are going to be listening to this podcast, so they all know who's who.
And let us clarify, our friends live in America, so technically they are Americans.
We're back to the Americans.
Yes. I like saying that word, like American.
I'm going to be all-inclusive because that's our culture now in society. Yep. And I'm going to say they, them, America, Europe, anyone listening. We'll have Autumn edit this part out.
Okay. Yeah, we'll have the youngest child who has technological advances know how to do this.
Yes.
Whatever we're doing here. Okay. Well, which child should we start with? Do you want to start with Autumn? She's a really interesting one.
Start from the youngest?
Yeah, we could start from the youngest.
The youngest would technically be my son, who's 11.
Yeah.
But I think that let's start with Autumn.
Let's leave him safe for a while.
He's not safe, Mom. Everyone, he's on my social media. My profiles are public.
He is. Well, that's true. He is on Facebook. That's right. But, that's a little... Yeah.
We'll dig into Autumn. I feel like you've been waiting to get some of this stuff out, actually. Why don't we go ahead and dig into Autumn?
Yes, I have been doing that. I have been wanting to get out. Okay, let's just start with part of Autumn's personality. Autumn has a lot of, what would you call it, Sarah?
I would call it neurosis or neurotic or...
Okay, let me just say...
I don't...
To start this way, the child has blackout curtains to go to sleep at night, and then she has a clock in the morning, an alarm on her wall that wakes her up and shines sunlight on her face to wake up because she can't see the sun because she's got the blackout curtains to get her to sleep. And then she's got a shower head that somehow has oxygen in it. And if you're in the shower, do you really need oxygen?
I was under the impression the oxygen was all around already. Like, I thought, I didn't know we paid for it, or it was, like, extra.
I didn't know you needed a shower head to have oxygen in it.
But Autumn will tell you that she has a sensory issue. Undiagnosed.
Yep.
But, yeah, she likes her things. She likes the extra things that the world has to offer. Like a water bottle that can purify her water that's already purified, but put oxygen or something in it that makes it better.
Yeah.
It's better somehow.
Yeah. And they're always very pricey items. I think the shower head was $200. Mm-hmm. And she's not yet at the phase in her life. She's 26, so she's not yet in the phase in her life where she's making that kind of money.
No, but you and Dad are making that kind of money.
Yeah, and we're the ones who pay for it. And my husband goes around grumbling, see that lamp over there, or that shower head over there? I paid for that.
Paid for that.
Yeah. And so he's constantly got Autumn spending in his mind. So, but anyway, that's a little bit about Autumn. And then we have someone who wants to remain anonymous, because, I am talking to America.
Right. She's talking to America and everyone else. She's talking to our audience. So we're going to call her...
X.
Right. Because that's not going to be hard for them to figure out the first initial of her name. We're going to call her X. And she's an interesting character. X has never really cared much about what anyone thinks of her.
Which is a great quality.
It is a great quality. She, in high school, she was Pikachu. Full costume Pikachu in the homecoming parade.
Yes.
And
proud of it. Proud
of it. I want to note that she also did not know how to get to her high school. When I was driving her to her high school graduation, 4 years worth of riding on the bus, and she did not know the way to her high school. And that was due to, in part, because she was
in her own world.
In her own world. Headphones in.
Yep.
Doing whatever she does.
She's an artist.
But X is not someone you want to ask for directions.
No.
Or technically ride in the car with, because she's terrifying.
Yes.
She mostly doesn't know where she is.
Yes.
Lives in her world. We call it La La Land. She, has a film career, or she's working towards her film career. But
Yeah.
she's currently
She's
stuck.
working towards it.
She's working towards it. She's currently stuck in the...
Okay, we're not going to tell any further. It'll give it away.
Mom, California is a very large place.
I know.
There are tons of PAs. What are they going to do? Research every production assistant?
Yeah, that's
and
true.
Find her.
And
Who's
since
named
we are just talking to a few friends,
also,
probably.
No one wants to find us, Mom.
I'm just worried about the whole mafia gang thing.
Right, the gangs.
Yeah.
The gangs here in the suburbs. They're going to find us, shake us down for all the money we're making on the podcast.
Whole $3. If that.
If that. I don't know how that works. I don't know how many views you have to get or whatever. Yeah. But yes, X is also that you got to watch out for her.
Yeah.
Because she's the type of person, she's a Taurus. I'm not sure if that plays into it at all. But she's sneaky. If you cross her, she is gonna cut you. She is gonna find you when you least expect it, and she is gonna exact her revenge in the most deepest way possible.
Sarah does martial arts, and she's afraid of her. So, the thing is, about X, I almost said her name, she is the most nicest person you ever want to meet. She'll do anything for you. Great person. But, like Sarah said, if you cross her, if you do something mean to her, she will wait.
She holds a grudge.
She holds a grudge.
She holds a grudge.
For years, in fact.
She will hold on to it as long as she wants to, and as long as it feels right to her.
That's
to
right.
Hold on to that grudge.
Right. That's right. She's like her mother. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You people, you grudge holders.
Yep.
Yep.
Gotta work on it. Gotta get better. Anyway. Okay, who shall we go to? Addison?
Addison would be next in line. And Addison, he's probably the mildest out of all of us.
Yeah. He's the most...
He's the comedian.
Yeah. He's not professionally, just literally...
Naturally. Sarcastic.
Yeah.
Quick
He has great comebacks. And, yeah. And he's very mellow. He's not the type to get angry really quick or anything. But he was the one when we were raising him. He also never really paid attention to his surroundings. Never really knew where he was. I'll give you an example. We were coming out of McDonald's one time, and they were just all kids. And he had walked. We had a blue car in the parking lot, and we had parked, across from the McDonald's. And he came out and walked the opposite direction the rest of us were walking. And I look over, and he is pulling on the handle of some blue car with a person sitting in the front seat.
Smoking
and I was
cigarette.
like, and he's like, what, 6 or 7?
He's like 6 or 7, and the lady's just looking at him.
He's watching him.
As he's trying to get in the back seat of her car.
Yeah. And so it wasn't until we called over, Addison. Then he starts to walk towards the highway. I'm like, son. And then he turns around and sees us. He comes over. He looks at us and he says, well, it was blue.
The blue car completely. Well, it was blue.
So it was like our car.
Makes
it was blue.
Perfect sense.
Thought it was my car. There's only 10,000.
We owned a station wagon.
Yeah.
And this lady's car, I don't even know if it was the light color blue of our station wagon, but it was not a station wagon. I don't think it was a light color blue. He just found himself there.
Yeah.
And he figures it makes complete sense.
Yep.
Like anyone would make that mistake.
Yep.
And I remember I could not get over that. I thought it was the most hilarious thing.
Yep.
And it used to bother him because I would tell that story.
I think it still bothers him.
It probably does. If he listens to this, he's not going to be
happy.
He's
not going to know about this. Don't worry, America.
America. I hope Americans listen to this for as much as my mom.
Or non-Americans. You can listen to it too.
We're excited. Mom wants you to know she's not prejudiced.
I'm not. Okay. Not. Anybody can listen.
She's Southern. I feel like she has to say that a lot in her life. She's not prejudiced.
I'm not.
But, yeah, so that's Addie. My grandfather also...
Yeah, Addie's birthday was coming up, and his birthday, their grandfather's birthday was coming up in June. So he just remembered, he's 87, so he just remembered all the June birthdays that his birthday was in.
Right. It was weird. He he posted on Facebook. That's what it was.
Yeah.
We get a message from X. She sent it all to us, a screenshot. And the post says, like, June is my family's birthday month. And it goes through the family members whose names are in, like, whose birthdays are in June. And it gets to the last one. And the last one is Allison. And I'm like, who the hell is Allison? We could not figure out. And we're like, Allison. And then we realize
that he meant to say Addison. But,
he meant to say
but
Allison.
on his Facebook page, Addison is now known as Allison.
Right. And I'm not sure if the man just forgot Addie's
87.
name or if it was an autocorrect.
It's probably autocorrect.
If he used speak to text. I know a lot of older people use speak to text.
I use that. I admit it.
I know you
I
use
do
that.
it in the middle of hospitals. And...
I know. Mom's walking down the grocery store or in public in general, using the speak to text and pressing send before rereading it. So I'm sure you can all imagine how the text messages come across.
Right.
Most of them, we do our best to
Decipher.
translate and decipher what she's trying to say.
Yeah, I feel that I am too old to try to learn all this technological stuff.
Right.
And so I'm just going to speak it. I don't care if I'm in the waiting room at the doctor's office or wherever I am, in the store. People look at me, but it's like, hey, I'm not talking to you. I'm just looking at my phone. I'm talking to my children.
You have 35 years worth of 4 children. You don't care if people are looking at you anymore.
That's right. I'm used to people staring. So, and then we need to talk about you, Sarah. Let's see. We've talked about 3. So how would you describe you, Sarah?
Oh gosh, that's a lot to unpack there.
So do we just talk about your different friends? Your like for groups of acronyms?
Yeah, mom is having a hard time remembering all of my friend groups. So a little bit about me. I am 35. I'm going to tell you all about me. I want you to know me. You can find me on the social
to get
media.
It all out.
You can hear my problems. I am 35. I have a wonderful, sarcastic son who is 11. And I have had some experiences in my life. I am short-tempered and emotional. And I'm not like X.
Oh
I'm
my
not
gosh.
like X.
She will remember it and cut you down if you say her name.
I don't hold a grudge. I just explode. You
Yes.
know when I feel something because it's written on my face. Mom always says I don't have a poker face.
Nope, she needs one. She does not have a poker face. I always know when something's wrong. And I'm like, in the South, when we're upset, we have a poker face. And we keep it and then say something sarcastic.
Right.
So that's how you're supposed to do it.
Right. So that's the thing is though, I'm part Southern, I guess that's what we're saying, but I'm also part Middle Eastern. I've got a Middle Eastern temperament coursing through my veins, and so the temperament usually wins out, and I can't.
Yeah. She's gotten a lot better. She's gotten a lot better, but I can see it on herself, and she explodes and then apologizes later, and we're all just like, yeah, it's just another day. We know.
Right.
We know you're sorry. It's no big deal.
I'm sorry for what I said when I was hungry.
Yeah.
When I was angry.
Yeah. Exactly.
But the acronyms, going back to the acronyms, I have several friends who I train recreationally at a MMA gym, and I have several friends who fight professionally and also several friends who, just train recreationally. And so anytime I'm, telling my mom I'm going out, just going out with my friends, my MMA friends, or we're going to the MMA fights, or, I use UFC.
And I call it the KFC because I get confused and I don't know. I'm like, is it UFC, WFC, KFC, PBS? I can't remember.
Mom can't remember. And I also have my friends I went to rehab with, and that's something we'll unpack that later.
On another story.
We'll touch on that another time.
Yeah.
But I use the acronym MRC because that was the name of the rehab center I went to. But all of these acronyms are really starting to confuse Mom.
Yeah.
And She finally just resorted to KFC or whatever acronym she deems appropriate at the time.
Yep.
And I just let her do it.
Yep.
She's been making up her own names for things for
a
years
long time.
now. So
Yeah.
I just, yes, Mom.
Yeah, it's how I get through. I can't remember. I'm at the age where I'm past menopause. I've been through that, America. And so I cannot remember like I used to. And so it's just much easier to have my own acronym rather than take the one that is the true one, because it's just easier.
I don't think that memory has ever been your problem. I think you just like to call things whatever comes to your mind. Like El Chupacabra.
That is an actual thing.
That is a thing, but what did you call him?
Oh, I don't know. I don't remember. What did I call it?
She doesn't remember.
La Chupacabra?
La Cucaracha. That's what it was. She was trying to tell us about the legend of El Chupacabra, but she called it La Cucaracha.
I think that's a dance.
It's something, but it's not the legend of the goat man that sucks people's blood.
Okay, so it's not that legend.
Right.
Okay.
That was far off base.
Far off.
There's a restaurant called Costa Vida, and she calls it, what did you?
Costa
del Vito.
Costa del Vito.
Costa del Vito.
Yeah, and they have good food. But I cannot remember the name.
Mom has just been making up names for everything. My whole existence. For as long as I can remember. It's not that she can't remember. It's just that she doesn't care. And she thinks that her names sound better.
Well, I think
she's not paying complete attention.
If I say it enough, my kids will just accept it and they'll know what I'm referring to. They'll just say, oh, okay, we know what she's referring to. She's talking about this.
The sad thing is we do know what you're referring to.
Yeah. Okay. So now we haven't discussed your dad. You want to start or you want me to start?
Dad, I don't know. Maybe you should start. I will say he's got one of those faces where people just think he's mad all the time.
And he's not.
And he's not.
He's not. He just, he used to scare off Sarah's boyfriends. They would come and come to the door and he'd be standing in the garage and you're like, I don't know if I should go in or not. I don't know. And I'm like, I told him his name's Ned and I said, Ned, you're scaring everybody off. And he's like, well, I'm not doing anything. I'm just in here working on stuff.
My face just looks that way.
It just looks that way. He does not have a poker face either. And I've had to tell him a couple times, like when we're at church or somewhere, I'm like, I've had a friend ask me at church, what's wrong with Ned? He looks really ticked off in the middle of church. And I'm like, okay, so I don't know what to do about it. We've been married 36 years. I don't think he's ever going to change that. That's just who he is, right? One of his characteristics. Yeah.
Yeah. Dad is very logical, practical. He's an engineer and
yeah, he's the practical one.
He's the one you've got to have an outlined plan.
Yes.
If you need to ask him for something, you need to have an outlined detailed plan.
Yes.
Of how everything's going to work from start to finish.
Right.
So he knows the plan.
Yeah.
And he can help you if you're asking for help or whatever it is, but
you need to have a plan.
You need to have a plan.
And if you're going to ask for money, you need to go at least $50 under the asking price. You need to take it down.
You give him the parent price.
Yeah.
You take it down because you know how much you need.
Yeah.
But you don't want to ask for too much, so you go like you said, $50 under the asking price.
Because he'll still give it to you, but he'll go around grumbling to himself. He'll grumble about it after you leave. Yeah, I got all too much money. I'm giving out. I don't have that much money. Blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, you got to, kind of go under the price there. And he's very organized. And I'm not. I mean, I'm organized about some things, about, being at places where I need to be. But let me just give you an example. America. I just want to say that. I just want to say
America.
I do. I like that word. I like saying it.
America. I didn't realize you were so patriotic.
Okay. So because I am not organized, he has done this several times where he has labeled all the kitchen counters. all the kitchen shelves, like cups for where the cups are, and plates for where the plates are. Because just like I say my own acronyms, I also put things where I want to.
Where she thinks that they should go. Where is easiest to reach.
At the moment.
Mom you're also, you put your soda back,
yeah, I do.
Fountain soda back in the fridge, or you put the milk gallon back with like a drop back in there.
Yeah, I'm constantly doing that. I put my fountain soda in the fridge after I've drank it part of that day, and there's part left over. I'll put it back in the fridge and save it for the next day.
Like it's gonna be any good.
And everybody in the family is like, Mom, all the carbonation is out of that. I'm like, oh, it tastes fine to me. But
I don't. You also put I don't understand why you put your full dinner plate. Like you put your dinner plate back in the fridge. Like
yes.
just finish it, Mom, or just throw it away. I don't understand that. I open the fridge and there's a plate with food on it, and her forks are still on there, and I'm like, why? What's happening?
Let me tell you why. Let's talk about your grandmother Hutchins for a minute. I grew up with a mother who did not waste anything. She grew up during the Great Depression, and she saved everything. Let's just go and tell about you want to tell about the rubber bands, the pantyhose story?
Well, the only thing I know from that story is that she just, she didn't have rubber bands on hand. She probably did have rubber bands. Rubber bands don't even cost that much at the grocery store or office supply store. But Grandma she saved things, and she decided to invent her own rubber bands, which consisted of pantyhose. She cut the tops off of pantyhose.
Yes. Or she got the knee-high socks. Remember when there was knee-high pantyhose? At least
those are
people around my age will remember those.
For older people. They still have those, Mom.
Do they?
But no one wears them unless they're old.
Okay, well, my mother wore them. And she would save the pantyhose, the tops of them, and use them for, rubber bands.
Rubber bands. She had them, rubber banded pencils and all of her belongings.
Yeah.
After she passed, when we cleaned everything out, everything was rubber banded with pantyhose. Yeah. I don't think I found one real rubber band. In her thing.
I've never seen one person have so much pencils and so many rubber
a lot of pencils.
pantyhose. Yeah, she did.
Like if we were going to have to write a lot if the apocalypse came.
Like it was going to be apocalypse and we were going to be out of pencils
to write. I don't know why we would be writing anything. We could use those to burn.
Yeah, we could. That's true. We could have a fire and have wood.
Yeah, no. Listen, I've told you this a million times. If the apocalypse comes, I'm just going to start stealing things.
No, and see, I've tried to talk her out of this.
I am going to become a criminal. Sometimes I hope for that so I can break laws.
So she can shop.
I just want to shop.
Right.
I will be the most well-dressed person in the apocalypse.
You would.
You will look at me and not want to mess with me because I am so well-dressed. And I will probably just mooch off of other people to survive.
Yes.
I'm going to put it out there. That's who I am.
Yes.
And I'm okay with that.
And you're okay with that.
I don't have survival skills. I'm going to depend on everyone else
to
keep me alive.
I see.
And I'm going to be a criminal. I'm going to thieve.
You're going to thieve.
I'm going to thieve.
That's nice for me to think about my posterity.
You raised me right.
I raised you right.
It's one of those things like, it's not you,
I'm so
it's
proud.
me.
I'm so proud. Yep. So, who should we talk about next?
You got to tell a little bit about yourself.
I have to go there, do I?
Yeah, we could go there.
Okay, there's a lot there, and I need a lot of therapy, so I don't know if I'm... I used to write a humor column in the newspaper, and that was a lot of fun, and in it I would write about my family and all the funny things kids, husband did, and things like that, and just enjoy talking about things that are lighthearted. So that's enough.
Okay. Well,
nothing deep there. We'll discuss.
We'll unpack the rest later.
Yes.
Don't worry, America.
That's right, America.
We'll get to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mom's doing the hand signals. My mom's over here doing hand signals.
I'm trying to
wrap it up. You want to wrap it up? Is that what you're saying?
Or do you want to go on? I mean, is there more to discuss, or do we just want to end here and do another podcast about more stuff some other time?
All right, everyone. So we're going to end the episode here. This is just to help us ease into recording, because at first it was really awkward. We had a short 10-second segment where we just you know what? We're not going to get into it.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, so thank you all for listening. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, America.
Thank you, America, for listening. And anyone else, all of our friends who might be listening, stay tuned for our next episode where we talk about a topic that we are going to plan for.
Yes.
All right. Signing off. And also, life is funny that way. You want to say it, Mom?
Life is funny that way, America.